Awful Adam comedy. Let's take a few minutes here and talk about the absolute joy of being a cynic. People love to criticize cynics. They call us bitter, they call us negative, they call us the reason why Thanksgiving dinner gets incredibly quiet after the second glass of wine. But honestly, cynicism is just a supreme form of emotional efficiency. It's the ultimate protective shield against the absolute worst thing a human being can experience: a surprise. Think about optimists. Optimists wake up every single morning, look out the window, and think, today is going to be a beautiful day full of endless possibilities. What an exhausting, high-risk way to live your life. You're just setting yourself up for a devastating emotional crash the second you hit traffic or your coffee order is wrong. A cynic wakes up, looks out the window, smells the pollution, and says, wow, looks like another flawless, predictable disaster. And then when the day inevitably falls apart, we don't cry, we celebrate. Because there's no greater high on earth than being able to cross your arms, look at your weeping friends, and whisper those 4 magical words: I told you so. Cynicism completely streamlines your social life. It bypasses the tedious, deeply uncomfortable process of actually getting to know people. Why waste 3 months listening to someone talk about their hobbies, their childhood trauma, and their favorite movies just to discover they are a deeply flawed narcissist? A true cynic skips the middleman. We look at the stranger across the room and think, I don't know who you are, but I can already tell your personality is a toxic waste dump. Save so much time. You don't have to go to dinner parties. You don't have to reply to group chats. You don't have to RSVP to weddings because you already know the marriage isn't going to collapse in 48 hours. So why buy a toaster? Cynicism turns your brain into a flawless algorithm that calculates human failure before it even happens. If you assume everyone is a self-serving, manipulative opportunist out to ruin your week, you're never disappointed. You are either completely correct, which feels fantastic, or you're pleasantly shocked when someone accidentally holds the elevator door open for you. It's a win-win scenario where you never lose. Let's take a quick look here at how beautifully cynicism applies to the modern workplace. If you enter the corporate world with an optimistic attitude, you're doomed. You actually believe human resources department when they say, we are a family here. You spend your weekends organizing team building exercises and writing inspirational posts on LinkedIn with too many line breaks. A cynic enters the office and immediately understands the truth. We're not a family. We are captives in a fluorescent lit zoo trying to exchange chunks of our souls for dental insurance. But when the CEO announces a strategic pivot to maximize synergy, the optimist claps. The cynic immediately starts updating their resume and stealing high-end pens from the supply closet because they know a massive wave of layoffs is coming in about exactly 20 minutes. Cynicism is the only thing standing between you and the delusion that your corporate overlords care about your mental health. It keeps you sharp. It keeps you grounded. It ensures you never want to volunteer or lead a committee. But ultimately, the best part of cynicism is that history is entirely on our side. Every single major historical event was caused by an optimist saying, hey, look at that giant wooden horse the Greeks left outside our gate. Let's bring it inside. What's the worst thing that could happen? You know, there was one lone cynic in Troy standing on the wall going, guys, that horse looks highly suspicious, and I think I hear muffled coughing come from the torso. But did they listen? No, they called him a party pooper. And then they got their entire city got burned to the ground. So don't let the toxic positivity influencers tell you to smile. Manifest your goals or look on the bright side. The bright side is just usually oncoming train. Keep your expectations on the floor, assume the worst of every politician, celebrity, and family member, and enjoy the absolute luxury of being the smartest, most miserable person in the room. Thank you. Stay awful, everyone.